It is an act of war, quite frankly, and this could lead to massive escalation. On the other hand, it could lead to negotiation. You're going to have massive chaos, a massive humanitarian disaster. Does the ceasefire end? Does the war really start up again? Well, it's not the issue of military knowledge. We're not going to gain anything from actually seizing the ship. The issue is politically and strategically, what advantage or disadvantage does this cause? Did the Iranians purposely sail this ship so that it would confront the Americans and cause some kind of a crisis? We don't know. Now, if the Americans have indeed captured the ship, what are they going to do to it, with it? Where are they going to put it? If, in fact, the Spruans fired into the ship, into Tuska, how much damage have they done to the ship, and is the ship actually seaworthy? So there are all sorts of technical and operational issues that are raised beyond just the strategic ones. And whether the Pakistanis are going to be able to arrange a meeting with the Iranians and the Americans tomorrow in Islamabad is another issue. So what this has done, they confused an already very confusing situation. Very rare. It's happened very, very few times short of war. In this particular circumstance, I would be hard-pressed to think of the last time we probably seized one, other than interdicting the drugs, the alleged drug boats that are coming out of Venezuela and South America. This is very, very rare. It is an act of war, quite frankly. You just don't do that. In fact, what the United States is doing has been and is, in terms of international law, a declaration of war. But the U.S. Congress does not seem to accept that. And so we're operating under the Constitution, second clause, that the President of the United States is the Commander-in-Chief. But yes, this is a violation of international law, and how this is going to be worked out is something that needs to be determined. But as I said, it adds a huge amount of confusion to an already confused process. And if the ceasefire does end and Donald Trump's threat to destroy all the power grids and bridges in Iran is carried out, you're going to have massive chaos, a massive humanitarian disaster. If it's done, I don't think it, but you don't know. The interesting aspect was the Iranians said that they attacked with drones the American ship. That needs to be determined. I'm not sure that they did because that was not reported, but it just complicates and confuses the situation. And right now we need more information, but the question is, what is Iran going to do next, because they can escalate? What is the United States going to do next? In particular, is it going to be able to meet with Iranians? Does the ceasefire end? Does the war really start up again? Congress is now back in session. Will they finally act? Probably not. But the only thing to be said right now is that confusion reigns. Well, several things. First, is Iran going to send any of its negotiators to Islamabad? Question. If they don't, what next? Is the war going to be escalated? And thirdly, what are we going to do with the ship? Has the Spruans disabled that ship, so it needs to be repaired? We now have to come up with some idea of how we're going to dispose of it. But this is an active war, and the fact of the matter is Congress is not going to act on it until after the 60-day limit on the War Powers Act is met, which will happen in about a week or so. But to repeat, this is confusion on steroids, and this could lead to massive escalation. On the other hand, it could lead to negotiation if Iran descends to sign its negotiators to Islamabad, and that still is a question that seems to be very much open.